Billy, they want you gone, my guy.
Cannot play with him. Cannot win with him. Cannot coach with him. Can't do it.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Grant's React, a college football show for the fans by a fan. If you love college football, this is the channel for you. Shout out to the Locker Room, a.k.a. our Patreon squad. I appreciate you guys going above and beyond to help support the channel. Do not forget, check tonight for my preview prediction and my film cut-ups. And don't forget that I did put out my top 10 in instant reaction to last week. Check out the Patreon for that. But we want to talk about Billy Napier, and these could be his final days at Florida. Here's what the USA Today is reporting. Now, this is the article written by Matt Haynes, and he says, Florida Athletic Director Scott Strickland met with a handful of influential boosters Tuesday. It was told continuing financial support depends on the new direction with the football team. 3 people with direct knowledge of the situation told USA Today Sports. Now, USA Today Sports, big-time publication. So if they're going to put out a story like this, they're going to get 3 different sources. So this backs up what they're saying. The boosters are upset. The boosters are mad. And does that shock anybody? I don't think so. It continues. The people who spoke on the condition of the autonomy to protect the ongoing process said embattled Florida coach Billy Napier could be fired as soon as this weekend. One thing is certain, Napier won't survive another loss. Strickland declined to comment for this story. So the first things first is if they lose this weekend, he for sure gone. And even if they win, it seems like the boosters are still upset and he's still going to be gone. And I think it's important that USA Today put Scott Strickland declined to comment for this story, because last year really set them up for failure. And I'll break that down when I get done reading this last part. But Scott Strickland came out when people were slandering Billy's name, when they were going at Billy. Scott Strickland stood up for him and said, Billy Napier is our coach, damn it. And he will continue to be our coach. And then the players won games. Billy Napier's coached those winning games, and things got turned around. And that's how we got to this season. But it's interesting that the same exact things are going on. The losses have happened. The rumors are happening. But Scott Strickland is being quiet. We'll see how long he stays quiet when those boosters told him they'll take that money from him. This, unlike other speculation about Napier's job status, is an important and direct connection to last year's near firing of Napier. It was then that the same Florida boosters were ready to pay Napier's large buyout, but were held off by Strickland and convinced to use the money in the NIL space to help Napier's build out. So they were ready to get rid of him. And Scott Strickland came to the rescue. Because keep in mind, Scott Strickland hired Billy Napier. So if Billy Napier does good, Scott Strickland looks good. If Billy Napier fails, Scott Strickland fails. So of course Scott Strickland said, I'll save you, Billy. And that he did. And he got the boosters to use the funds on retention and money. And I got to tell you, if I was a booster, I would be pissed off this year. You say, why? Because I was ready to get rid of Billy last year, and I was talked off the ledge. And I decided to put my money in better players, and a year later, we are in the same predicament. Losing to teams we shouldn't lose to, South Florida. Losing to our rivals, Miami. An offense that even with weapons, we got a young wide receiving core that's doing things people haven't seen before. And our offense still cannot get things consistently going. I would be mad if I was a big-time booster because I should have trusted my gut. Instead, I let Scott Strickland tell me not to do it. Only for us to get hype in the offseason. Only for us to bring good players in and then the season start off like it did. Deja vu all over again. Look, in this situation, in any situation, when a coach is reaching his final days, people like to say, hey, the boosters are overreacting. The fans are overreacting. But this is a case where I say, look, the boosters took the money away from the buyout and invested it in you getting players. The Florida fan base, when Billy turned it around last year, they jumped back on his bandwagon. They were saying spot the ball. They were showing that Netflix special to anybody who would watch. They really believed in Billy. Only for the games to get played and to be looked like a fool. So this is a situation where, look, Billy had his chance. He got his players. And he hasn't lived up to the expectations. So it looks like Billy's reaching his final days. And Scott Strickland won't be able to save him this time. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think Billy deserves another shot? Do you think he's going to turn it around again? Let me know what you think in the comments.